Hey, how are y'all once again? So, it's a well-known fact that as far back as during the slavery times, that slave masters not only used to physically abuse black slaves, black male slaves, that is, and dehumanize them, they also were used to do the black women that way. And anytime when the black female slaves would get out of hand, on top of that, they would usually sneak, and most of them happen to be married men of both European and Caucasian descent, who would sneak from time to time, may take the female slave women to a barn, to a secretive location, and usually rape those black women due to a deep fetish that European and Caucasian men have always had with black women. And that's one reason, although this is another topic for a whole other video in time, that you see so many light-skinned, biracial, and mulatto people nowadays. So, my point of saying all this is to provide more elaboration and clarification on how the European and Caucasian men, how you like to refer them to or as, always have had, although they always have had a strange and deep fetish, always have fantasized from day one, ever since way back in the slavery days. I will state again about what it was like to be sexually involved with black women, yet and still these same European men of European Caucasian descent never ever have really cared for black men. And to this day, you will see some of these same men of Caucasian, European descent, going on social media platforms, saying and expressing how they have so much love for some black American women, and even may go as far as posting stories to prove that much more of how much in love they are with black American women. However, these same guys, when it comes to dealing with us black men, they go out their ways to still call us racial slurs, still give us hell on the job. As a matter of fact, how many of you fellow black American brothers have been on a job where you have had to submit to a white boss, whether they may have been a supervisor, either supervisor or manager, and for that white supervisor or manager to always give you such a hard time? But when it would come to dealing with some of your black American sisters, they would go out their ways to flirt with your black American sisters, your fellow black American female co-workers. But anytime it came to you, they would barely acknowledge your presence, barely would smile at you in it of that. Because I have had to deal with that personally while being in the workforce. And I still, until this day, see it. Because on my job, I work around overall one white supervisor who is an elder Caucasian guy, probably in his 50s, along with a few other guys that do maintenance work who happen to be Caucasian or European descent. And some of those same maintenance technicians. I see standing up, because stand up all day just about to conversate with some of my black female co-workers, or if not that, usually flirt with them. But when it comes to dealing with us fellow black male co-workers, they hardly say any word, 2 words to us. And how many of you could relate to how, even when it comes to the sports field, how anytime a player, a black athlete that happens to be, may happen to be one of the top picks either in the NFL or the NBA draft, every time they get drafted to the team, who is it that always signs them to whichever team they go to, presents them with their jersey, or either helps sign them to a contract worth X millions of dollars? It's always usually a man of white descent. Even if that organization, such as the NBA, for a perfect example, may be an organization that's dominated by mostly black athletes, in most cases, it's always a white overseer who they have to get permission from to go to get drafted to play for whichever team they usually get drafted to. Or if not that, you used to sign them to play for so many millions of dollars for whichever team. Always give them, assign them the team's jersey on behalf of the team they'll get ready to play for. If not that, it's usually a white coach that's usually their overseer, from being a white coach, or there's a defensive coordinator, assistant coach, and on and on. And that proves my point of how white men have, to be honest, a deep inferiority complex. Although they have more privileges and advantages when it comes to race or skin color, yet it's still, and deep down inside, they envy us black men. That's why on your job, if you work around that one or under that one white boss, male boss, that's why he hardly ever has even 2 words to say to you, unless under one condition: he wants to give you orders or a task to do. That's also why that same male, a white or Caucasian boss, when it comes to dealing with you black men, they hardly ever like to joke with you, hardly ever like to speak to you or greet you when they see you on the job. But when it comes to dealing with your black female sisters, they could talk with them and joke with them all day. Have you ever thought about that or ever paid that any attention? Because white men, when it all comes down to it, and another reason is because it's a myth that always has been going around about how us black men have always been known to be one of the main races or groups of men to be, quote unquote, well endowed, if you get what I'm coming from, where I'm coming from. That's another reason. And not only that, it's due to our athleticism too, because when it comes to especially football or basketball, even boxing, sports such as boxing, we make some of the best athletes compared to white athletes. Don't get me wrong, with the last NBA Finals series, there was a white guy that took home the MVP trophy, the NBA Finals MVP trophy. But overall, us as black men, we still dominate the sports genre or sports field. That's one of them, also the main reasons why most white men can't stand our guts, yet those same white men have a deep obsession and infatuation with black American women. Also, they don't like the simple fact that we as black men are taking most of their white females. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said in a previous video, how they may look at their fellow white women anytime they've been with a black man that's either tainted, mud sharks, what else? N-word lovers, and so on and so on. White men's leftovers, just to name a few derogatory names or terms. And what's one of the main reasons you see so many black men incarcerated, especially when it comes to black men that may commit the same exact kind of crimes? And I know this is a taboo subject, but I don't care. I'm still going to speak on it. I'm still going to address the quote-unquote elephant in the room anyway. But the main reason it comes down to why the same black American men commit crimes that the same white men may commit, black American men in most cases end up doing twice as much time. In some cases, white men that may commit the same exact crimes may not serve even a year in jail. It's all due because of the white man's inferiority complex that he suffers from deep down inside, and fear that the white race is on a decline, which it is. As a matter of fact, and I know this is based upon another video for a whole other time, but I still want to address it. It's been stated, I don't know how, well, I'll just go ahead and bring it up anyway, that by the year, I believe 2043 or 2043, that it'll be more minorities that will make up the majority of the population, specifically and first and foremost the Hispanic population will outnumber both the white population, the whole white population. So anyway, I'm going to not keep on dragging this video that much more further. But before I end the video, I want you to first and foremost like the video, to let me know how much you appreciated my insight, both my insight and my feedback. And don't forget to comment right down below in the comment section. Share the video so the video can become more viral, and the channel as well. Last but not least, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, God bless.